Hello, everybody. Welcome to Very Nice.
Hi, vibes! Hi, everyone! Cheers and good
Just
morning.
in case you haven't seen it before, I'm Jackie, known as the Happy Jackster on YouTube, and
I'm
you introduce
Liz. Yeah,
yourself.
I'm Liz, and I'm known as Liz Green, the Law of Attraction Queen. And funnily enough, here I am introducing myself. I had to do the very same thing this morning. It's only 10 a.m., just past here in England, and I had a guy come to finish measuring up my house today because we're selling it, and he asked me what I did. And we ended up chatting, and it was really synchronistic. I've just got to share this with you, and then we'll go into the show. But he'd heard of The Secret, I think Law of Attraction, via Gary Barlow on X Factor. And I was like, wow, I don't even have to leave the house, and people just come to me. And he was like, oh, I'd love to find out more about what you do, Liz.
So how have you heard of it through Gary Barlow?
Well, yeah, because I watch X Factor, yeah, and I
Huh?
watch the USA one as well. I know you do. His wife had Wikipedia'd Gary Barlow, and I've still got to do it myself. Apparently, Gary Barlow's Wikipedia says he's into the law of attraction.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I'm putting an intention out there, right? Listen to this one. I'm putting an intention out there to do a bit of coaching for Gary Barlow. I call him Barry Garlow. I nearly said Barry Garlow. When I've had a glass of wine, it's Barry Garlow. So I'm going to put an intention out there to do a bit of coaching for Gary Barlow. I think I'd be a really good pre-show coach.
I think I know. I've always thought that for the X Factor. We're getting off. Well, anyway, this is more interesting. I've always thought that, but that's what they need. That's the extra that they need is they need coaches.
Yeah.
I know they have mentors, but I think they need a bit of clean up vibration on things that are bothering them, and now that would be interesting.
It definitely would, and I'm absolutely covered in goosebumps, so bring it on. Let's just pop that one out there.
Or maybe the mentors just come to us and...
Oh, I like your mug. What does that say? We'll get on with some question and answers soon. You share what your mug says. To Mummy. Is it from Jazz? That's lovely.
Mine says, to Mummy from your little princess.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Well, I've got my rainbow mug here today. Nice bright colours. I've got my message. Shall I read the message?
What today's?
Yeah, and sparkly nails. I've got sparkly nail polish on, if you can see that. It says, forget the past, move your attention, turn to the future. Yay! So let's turn to the future, the right here, right now. Shall we do some questions and answers?
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to do some questions and answers. Now, a few questions have come in. I've kind of just skimmed over them and tried not to absorb them so we can answer them really freshly. So let's start at the beginning. And
exciting.
Here, I'll find the questions. Right.
While you're doing that, I've just got to say as well, this little message from the Yogi Tea, I picked it by random, but it made me think of The Big Leap, because I know you've picked up on the book that I bought the other day called The Big Leap, and I've been meaning to read it now for about the past year, and it's eventually come to the point of taking big leaps.
Well, when I saw your post, I ordered it from Amazon, and funny enough, it was one of the only videos I sat and watched with Lilu, me, and what's it, Gay Hendricks?
Yeah, Gay Hendricks.
And I felt such a good feeling from it that I actually donated money.
Ah, I remember, yeah.
Because of that video.
I remember you mentioning it to me.
So, yeah, so I've definitely time for a bit of taking the big leap. Right, so let's go to the first question of the day, which is... I'm laughing because I put in my note, chiropractors 3 p.m.
Is that the question?
I don't forget. But I don't want to, anyway. So, right, so for Liz and Jack, this is from Sally. So Liz and Jack, the question is, in order to align and manifest our desires, do we need to let go of the desire itself? And if so, how can we do that with the lack of X, Y, or Z? It is the drive behind the desire. So, right. So I think by that it's more like, well, how do you kind of still get the manifestation? I suppose without focusing on X, Y, and Z. I would assume that's the
it's the art of allowing. It's the most. Well, if I say it's difficult, then it is difficult, but it's the most important part of law of attraction.
Oh, actually, I've got goosebumps because I was.
Go on,
yeah.
you go first. The goosebumps lead.
It's actually it must be quite an interesting one because it's similar to one that we had last week, actually, I think. And I was running up the stairs as I was dashing before, and something popped in my head about paradox. Everything's, if one thing's true, then the opposite's true.
Yeah.
And that was that kind of, for some reason, I remember thinking, I must remember that paradox. And it's been something that I've been dealing with at the moment. It's kind of getting in a state of confusion because I think, well, that's true. So, for instance, with the manifestations, I know I've got to let go of it to allow it.
Yeah.
And yet something in my mind goes, well, hang on a minute, though. I've got to focus on my dream and, put all my desires behind it to make it manifest.
Yeah.
And then I'm going, no, but you've got to let it go. No, but you've got to go. No, you've got to let it go. And it's that, I think, can cause you just to sit in confusion because you don't know what's right. But then it's kind of working out how both of them can be right at the same time.
That's it. And allowing them both to be right at the same time. I loved it how you were like, oh no, but this way, but that way. Because I look at it as a dance of life. And I had a vision then of the okie kokie, okie kokie, in and out and shake it all about, or whatever words are. But it's like that flow. It's like the tide of the waves of the dance of life, whatever analogy you want to use. It's finding the balance. I tell you what else comes to mind, and this must be synchronistic for somebody out there. A push me, pull you. Off the Dr. Dolittle film, the like double-headed llama. That's what I sometimes feel like. The example I had this weekend that comes up for me, and this is really synchronistic, and then I'll hand it back to you. I'll hand the baton back to you. It's shopping, It's shopping. I went shopping quite a bit this weekend, and when you go shopping and you really want something, and you've got the cash in your hand, and you've got a certain thing in your mind, like I had some certain trousers I wanted. I was shopping and desperately trying and looking in the shops and trying them on, and there was always
That's the same. I do exactly the
same. Synchronistic. And did I find the trousers where I thought I'd find the trousers? No, I let the trousers go, and then I was in the car and it was like, I felt a bit frustrated because I really wanted them. We're off to a gig next weekend again, and I did a bit of EFT tapping, and I let it go. I was like, even though I haven't found my perfect trousers, I'm going to let this go. And literally a light bulb moment came, and we were going shopping somewhere else, and Ian said, there might be some trousers there. The perfect pair of trousers. Seriously, beautiful. I was over the moon. What about you? That's the art of letting go. Once you've found your desire, release it, and it'll come in ways you don't expect.
Because what was coming up there was this. I mean, first of all, I had exactly the same experience where what I realised was that sometimes I like to go shopping to make myself feel better. Mm-hmm. But when you're out of the vortex, do you really want to stand in front of a mirror looking at yourself?
No.
But I did quite well considering I realised. But well, no wonder I don't find anything because I'm trying to shop to make myself feel good.
Yeah. Was that this weekend? Was that this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, synchronistic. Seriously, that's what I was doing. I tried a pair of cords on in the Levi's shop, purple, my favourite colour, and they were too short and they tapered in and they weren't made for me. And I was stood looking in the mirror thinking, Liz, you're out of the vortex. You're looking at yourself in a negative state from a negative point of view. So we got goosebumps. We're probably both doing the same thing.
Doesn't make you laugh though, because and I was aware that I've done this before, and I'm sitting and I'm picking out things. I've had a baby. I'm picking out bits and pieces, thinking, actually, I'm aware that I've actually lost weight, but. And I thought, you know what? Why not look at something this is totally going off the question, but
it all ties in.
And I thought, you know what it is? I've got a good bum. I just have a good bum. Nobody's going to take that away from me. And I thought, you know what it is? I'm just going to focus on that.
Listen to this. This is freakily synchronistic, Jackie. You're going to love this, and everybody's going to be buzzing off this energy watching our video. This is freakily synchronistic because I'd put weight on, so I'd been wearing quite baggy clothes. I'd been wearing linen trousers through the summer, you know, my comfy combats, funking it up a bit. But I bought the trousers I did get, I've got them on at the moment, they're really quite fitted, right? And Ian had sent me a message this morning saying, your bum's back. Because I've got these real fitted trousers on, which are actually more flattering, and my bum's back rather than being all covered. And you've just mentioned your bum being the best bit, so it's all mirrors shining back when we allow.
I'll tell you what this all sprung from, and I will get back to the question.
Yeah, we will eventually.
But I listened to with Freeman Michaels with, and I've forgotten what the name of the lady is, I can leave a link, and he was talking to this woman with Barnet Bain on his radio show about how you present yourself, how your soul's being represented, you know, and his wife had said to him, oh, you're dressing like an old man, and he was like, do I really want to present that? Yeah. Is that what I'm, you know, and that really got me thinking about what I'm wearing and who do I want to be, you know?
Yeah, that's
so
it.
I want to reflect from my soul, you know, not from so much vanity, but just, you know.
It's about, again, it's the balance, and this does tie back round to the question, because it is to do with, even with not just the physicality of buying the clothes, but wearing the clothes and what you're putting out there. It's all about balance, and it's about sending out the rockets of desire for our ideal clothes. Like, I'm loving purple. I know I met a woman on Thursday at an event who did like colour therapy, and she also helped people restyle. And I thought, oh, ding, 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 you know, and we chatted, and I know that purple and blues and turquoises are my kind of colours. But sometimes we can go for something too quickly. So the rockets of desire for new clothes, or a new look and a new feel, or anything, the rockets of desire go out there. But then if we jump in too quick and we're not quite in the big vortex, or we're slipping out of it a little bit.
Well, you know what I don't know if you find the same. If I'm in the vortex, I go in, everything I'm trying on is this. And then I get to the till and they go, it's half the price.
Yeah. Oh, I got a hair in my mouth. Ooh, what's that about? Yeah, the magic sort of keeps rolling, doesn't it? It's like, oh, pop, pop,
you don't
pop.
like you take your trousers to the till and go, oh, they've been reduced from £60 to £10. They go, oh, great. You know, it's like that kind of scenario, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But going back as well to the very beginning about the paradox, about you know, the question that we're asked. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of answers within that little round.
We're definitely answering it in a roundabout way, and roundabouts are good.
What I think it is, it's kind of focusing on it for as long as it feels fun and just natural and easy.
Yeah.
And when it starts to go from just daydreaming about it to feeling the need for it, it's just a little bit of a change, and at that point, let go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Stop thinking about it, because at this point you need to get yourself back to a good feeling place, because thinking about it from the outside vortex doesn't help. So I think really that's how you sort of marry it up, isn't it?
It is, and I was coaching yesterday evening. The last session I had, I was doing this. Yeah, I got my client to actually get the fist, and I'm like, right, how much do you need this? Need. So she had the fist. You do it with me, Jackie. Everybody do it with us. I need these trousers. Go on. And I literally just went, breathe. And let it go. And it just, you just know the difference, and that's how it is. In simple terms, it's that or that.
It's like yesterday I made a chilli, we had the family round. In fact, I find family occasions very vortexy, so enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I was making this chilli, and I looked on the recipe and it said cumin, and I was like, through the spice rack, I haven't got any cumin in my, in the spice rack. Oh, right, we'll just put this, I carried on. I didn't think too much about it. It'd be nice to have it, didn't have it. And then my mother-in-law walked in the house with some cumin.
Random.
Here you are, a few of the bits and pieces, and I was going, what, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's not funny that this just turned up and I didn't have it, and I was just like, that's just easy allowing you to put out.
Yeah.
There was no resistance.
Yeah, instant manifestations, you're free of resistance. It's what it is, it's the fact that it isn't actually important. Yeah, so it's the importance and the grit and the need and the got to have, need to make happen, must happen, any words that make you feel that, yeah,